Hello dear students. Today we are going to start the one more new chapter, that is physical and chemical changes. In this chapter we are going to study about the some changes which actually happens in front of our eyes, but we don't used to be take that much of interest to know which type of a change it is it? So we can identify, or we can able to tell that which type of change is it after learning this chapter. Okay, so some changes which takes place in our day to daily life, is it, some of they are physical ones, some of they are chemical ones. So which is the chemical and which one is the physical change, we will see along with the some specific examples which we use in our daily life, the objects. Okay, so here the topics are the physical changes and its examples, chemical changes and its examples, rusting of iron, galvanization and crystallization. The galvanization and crystallization we will see in the next video. um, these are actually regarding the high scale region. Okay, so we will see it later. So physical change. So before going towards the physical change, you must know what is the actually mean of the change. Okay, the change is actually the anything that becomes a different, undergoing some changes, undergoing some conversions, is it? So that is a one change. Okay, so suppose few examples like hair cutting, piece of paper after tearing it into paper, means suppose if you have a neat clear paper, okay, newspaper or any type of a colored paper, if you wanted to cut it into pieces for some purpose, so see, that is also one change, because initially it was a big neat clean paper, now you have cut it into pieces for your purpose, it means it has changed into the piece. Next, hair cutting. Suppose if you have a hair longs and if you decided to cut it, so it means that a long hairs are going to be changed into the shorter one as per the hairstyle changes, is it? Next is egg. An egg when get broken down, if egg get broken down, it means that the whatever the liquid portion will be there inside, that will get come out, is it? That will not be in a solid form as it was initially before breaking, is it? So that is also one change. An egg will get changed into a pieces and release, some liquid has got came out. So this is are some changes. So a few more examples like paper when get burned. Okay, when you burn used to be paper, it will convert into a ash, is it, the black portion, soft one, that released after the burning the paper, is it? That is also one change, because the paper was initially neat and clean, is it? If you have burned it with matches, then it converted into and it changes into a ash and the powder. Next, melting of ice. Suppose if you have a cube of ices, is it? And what you used to do, you used to be keep outside instead of keeping in refrigerator, is it? And due to the room temperature, it will convert into the liquid, is it? Initially it was a solid in form, but later when you bring outside outward, that's why it changed into a liquid, that is actually the water form. It means this is also one change. Another one example like cutting of a ribbon. That initially the ribbon was a longer one for inauguration or any other decorative purpose. If you have cut into a piece, it means that that is also one change. That was actually the initially longer one, later it has changed into two pieces. So these are the changes. Okay, now we have seen some examples, the changes about. Now we will see, and you can able to differentiate the physical and chemical change. So that's why we will see the definition of physical change: the substance which undergoes the changes in their physical properties. So always keep the word in, it means the physical means in appearance. In appearance means in change in shape, size and their look. Okay, that is a physical change. So what happens in physical changes? the substances which undergoes a change in their physical properties. So physical properties means in appearance, size, shape, length, breadth, all these things are got changed due to some activities, is it? So those are called as a physical changes. So it is also reversible changes. So some of the solid things or the materials or the objects, if you get broke down or if you wanted to change it, it can be come into its original size or the appearance, is it? So that's why the physical change are sometimes reversible. So we will see some of the examples like it. A glass bottle, if you have a glass bottle and by accidentally or unknowingly it will get fall down and broken. So what happened, some if you have all the pieces then you can join it, it means it is a reversible, is it? Next is newspaper, if you cut into pieces, if you got a proper puzzles in them, then you can easily join it. Next is an egg broke. So an egg when broke, you can only join the shells if it properly can fit in them. If okay, if it will get split out that liquid, then you cannot reverse, means you cannot keep inside it. It means that it's not actually the reverse. Some of the changes are there reversible, some of they not. Again you can take the example of ice cubes. What happens here, if you can, if you put the ice outside the room, it was initially the solid, later it converts into the water. The same water if you keep inside the refrigerator, after some time it will become a solid one, cubes, ice cubes. So these are some reversible changes, means in their shape, size, they get changed in their properties, it means that is a physical change. Next, one more example we can take, that haircut. Due to the long hairs, if you have cut the hairs in short one, then after some days, week or month, it will again, the length will increases of your hairs, hair. So this is also one change. Next is cutting of bark or the wood. Okay, if you have cut down the wood, that is also physical change, means if you are cutting that bark or the wood of that particular tree, it means you are changing its height, is it? You are changing its height or something, its shapes, by cutting for your purposes. It means this is also one physical change. You are not going to change anything inside them, is it? You are not going to be burn it, is it? You are not going to be crush it, is it? That will be a different change. If you are only harming the appearance, you are only harming the uppermost portions, means the physically how it looks, you are going to be changed that much only, is it? Internally you are not going to be do anything. It means that no any chemical changes are taking place here, only the physical changes are done. Next, suppose if you have a solution of sugar and water, okay, if you have a glass of water, in that you have dissolved the sugar, so will you able to separate it? See, yes, you can separate it. How? After boiling a water that convert into the vapor. Is it? We know that the water vapors will be released out and sugar salt will be remain at the bottom. It means that this is a one physical change, and we can, these are some changes which are reversible. You can separate the things, is it? So just to show that it how it is reversible, yeah, I have given this example. So hope you have understood the physical change. We will move towards the chemical one. The chemical change means what? The substances which undergo changes in their chemical composition. So here the chemical compositions means whatever the substances are mixed in them initially, okay, in that we are going to be interfere and we are trying to be make something different by adding something else. It means that is some changes are happening in their composition. So we will see some example, you can understand. New substances products will form. So in chemical change what happens, the new substances will be taking place. Next, the examples like rusting of iron, cooking an egg, fruit vegetables rotting or changing in colors and baking cake. So what happens in, suppose cooking an egg. So what happens here, if you cooked an egg for the preparing an omelette or anything something else, so what happens, that will be some changes. Suppose if your omelette you have made from an egg, so what you are going to do, you are going to be mix some spices in them, is it salt, punch nut, other spices which are required in them, is it turmeric, and what you are going to do, the white and yellow portion which is present inside the egg, that you are going to be change their property, means you are interfering with chemically, is it, that consisting of protein and all these materials, in that you are going to be add something different things, spices, is it, to prepare a different other dishes. It means you are interfering with their chemical properties, that's why it will going to be produce a one more new product. Means how, an egg when get broken down, you are cooking it, then it will become a omelette. It means that new product has formed, new substance will be formed. This is one example. Another one, rotten vegetables. Suppose if you have tomato, suppose potato or the apple, okay, what you used to do, you used to be cut for eating purpose, okay. If you don't have a mood of eating, what you used to do, you used to be keep it beside aside, okay. So after some time, if you wanted to eat it, so what you can observe, you will see some portion of that potatoes or the apple will become a black colored, is it, or reddish color. Why it has become like this? Because it has came in contact with the air. It means the whatever the things or the substances which are present in the we can say always the nutrition proteins are present in them, is it, those are nothing but the chemicals. So if you are cutting and put inside the any other room or any in refrigerator also, it will convert their change, it will become a black. It means that some changes has taken place. It means the air has got combined with the chemicals which are present in that fruits and the vegetables, is it. So due to that, that will convert into the blackish or the red portion. See, suppose another one example like a bread, okay, a bread and the tomato. If you have initially it was a different in appearance, it was a fresh and clean, is it. After some time you can see it will become like a rotten one, is it, some greenish or black colored things will be grow on them, that is we actually call as a fungus, is it. What happens, they used to be grow there, the microorganism used to grow on the vegetables and the bread, that is they what they are going to do, they going to be take up the nutrition from them, and they going to be spoil that food material like a tomato and the bread, anything you can take example. So this is what the changes are happening internally by changing the chemical composition. So they are actually consisting the chemicals in them due to combining with microorganism and air, they are going to be changed in their internally, some chemical compositions are going to be changed. Next, baking cake. You can see initially when you try to prepare the cake, is it was a batter only, is it, a liquid form. Later you used to be bake it, it means it convert into a fluffiness, fluffy bed like structure will be formed later, is it, after baking. It means that what happened, that batter or the liquid has converted into the cake form, is it. We normally call it as a cake. It means that some changes has taken place, that fluffiness has increased, the size of that batter has increased to form a bread. So these are some changes which takes place here, is it. So this is about the chemical change. Again we will see some chemical changes which happens in day to day life with us. Digesting food, we know that we have learned about the elementary canal in nutrition in animals, is it. You have got to know that how the food materials get digested to form a simple substances, is it. the carbohydrate which is present in wheat, jawar, rice, is it, that converts into the glucose molecules, that is a simple sugar, is it, that is also chemical change, due to some enzymes which are present in our body that converts that carbohydrate, proteins, fats into the respective changes. Carbohydrate converts into the simple sugar like glucose, protein convert into the amino acids due to some enzyme activity, fats convert into the fatty acids. So these are actually happens inside our body also. These are the chemical changes or the reactions which takes place due to enzymatic activity. These are also a some change. Next is curdling of milk. We know that we used to eat the curd, we used to prepare the curd from the milk only, is it, the milk, how it converts, due to some microorganism like lactobacillus are present in them, they used to be interfere with the chemicals which are present in the milk, is it, the lactic acid, is it, they used to be mix up with that and used to be produce a milk, the solid form of that milk, that is we call as a curdling of milk or curd, is it. So this is also one chemical change. Next is burning paper. Just we have a see, if you burn the paper it will convert into the ash. It means that you have interfered with the composition of that paper, is it. If you are burn it, it means that the composition of paper has converted into the ash powder, is it. Next, just we have seen the cooking an egg. Same, if you prepare, if you wanted to prepare a omelette, it is going to be convert that solid into the food material. So this is a good example for the chemical and the physical changes which happens in our day-to-day life. Next is metallic oxide. The metallic oxide means, don't get so much confused that what is mean it, okay. So metal, we know that the metals means iron, copper, zinc, all these are the metal. Oxides means the some coverings which takes place on the metal, okay, those are like rusting, okay. So we will see in examples like, so formation of a metal oxide are examples of a chemical change. Suppose if you have iron material or the object, okay, a pipe or something else, and if you are observing it from so many years, is it was initially a good in look, some after some years or months it has got changed in the coloring, so what happens there, that is some chemical changes has taken place there, means because of the air, okay, air and oxygen which are present in the atmosphere or the air. We know that what is the composition of air, it is a composed of different chemicals and the gases which are present in the air, is it. So same, if the metals come in contact with the water or the oxygen and the air, it will change their colors, it get changed into different colors. So that is actually the metallic oxide. So the change or the, you can see some formation of layers takes place on the metal or the any other object which is made up of the metal, okay. They are formed by the reaction of oxygen and the air. So what happens here, the formation of metal oxides are the examples of good chemical changes. So they are formed by the reaction of oxygen and the air. So you can see one example like magnesium plus oxygen, when combined it will convert into the magnesium oxide. So what happens, the magnesium metal will be there, if it will come in contact with the air, so it will convert into a rusting form. Next is magnesium come in contact with the moisture or the water moisture is nothing but consisting of a water droplets, is it, that will convert into the magnesium hydroxide. Next is the products formed is a basic in nature. So the whatever the products is formed, is it, those are actually in a basic in nature, okay. So you can test it by using a litmus paper. We have learned about how to use the litmus paper. You can check it, so you can see that will red litmus will convert into the bluish one, because the products are formed due to the metallic oxide. When formed, they are in a basic nature, so it will convert into the blue. So this was a good example of metallic oxide. You will better understand what is meant by the rusting and all. So hope you have ever seen the iron metals used to be consist the reddish blackish portion on them, one layer, that is nothing but a rusting or the metallic oxides, is it? The silver also sometime will get changed into blackish color, is it? Whatever, if you have a ring or anything else, or the anklet, that converts into a blackish color due to what? Due to the water and the oxygen. You, if you are using that things in daily life, it means that will change into some other colors, is it green or the black color? So that happens due to the metals are came in contact with the oxygen and the water, is it? So this is changes some happens due to the chemicals. So why these are actually chemicals? Because those are actually made with the chemical substances, is it? If we are interfering with that composition, it means that that is actually a chemical change. Composition are going to be changing something else. So this is about the today's session, that is we have learned the metallic oxide, a good example of chemical changes and the definition of chemical change, some examples which we used to see in day-to-day life, is it? Some preparing the food materials, converting the curdling of milk into curd, and the some changes of examples simply, and the definition of physical changes and their respective examples. So this was about today's session. For next session we will see the better examples, and we will see how the oxides will form, is it? Some chemical formula and all. So we will see you in next session. Thank you.